This is a HeadGum podcast.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to A Funny Feeling Podcast. I'm Betsy Sidaro.
And I'm Marcy Jarrow. This is a podcast where comedians tell us their paranormal experiences, and we listen to yours as well.
Oh, yeah. And if you have one of these paranormal experiences that you want to share with us, please email it to us at funnyfeelingpod@gmail.com.
Now get cozy.
And prepare yourself to be scared silly.
This is a Funny Feeling podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Betsy.
Marcy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is like a very appropriate guest we have today for we're in the damn middle of the spookiest season of the year.
I mean, it's happening.
It is happening. It was cold, then hot, then who knows where it's going to be.
Very spooky in LA. Very spooky in LA.
Yeah, global warming's very, very spooky.
It's too spooky. It snowed in Colorado yesterday.
Oh man, we're doing this at the beginning of October, so it makes it's even crazier then. Later in October, I don't know when it snows in Colorado.
Yeah. There were many Halloweens where it was like, it's snowing out, wear a coat over your little outfit.
Your
and
little
being
ghost outfit.
Like unzipping it to be like, see, I'm a werewolf.
Just sobbing as your frozen tears stream down your face. Or break off your cheeks. Okay, well, we're going to get into this. So
yes, I'm so excited.
We have today with us, we have best-selling author and host of the podcast, Grimmest, Adam Gidwitz. Hello.
Hello. Thank you. And you said, this was a very appropriate for the season. And I feel honored that you said that because usually I get labeled with inappropriate. Like the stories this guy tells us are inappropriate and he shouldn't tell them. So you called me appropriate. So I've clearly come to the right place. I've come home.
Well,
yeah.
And I say that because I read a book of Grimm's Fairytales once, and and tell us about your podcast, and then I'm going to tell you what I think about Grimm. The brothers, them
Marcy's
brothers.
got like a solid 45 on Grimm.
Perfect.
I'll give
you a tiny bit of information, and then you just go opinion straight to the wall after that.
That is, you've listened.
So, Grimmest is like a family podcast. It's for kids, and it's also for their parents. I think the feedback I've gotten is it's best for those long drives or traffic-laden commutes. So if one of you is in LA, perfect for you. So what I do is I find the funniest, the weirdest, and the scariest fairy tales I can find, and I retell them live to kids. And the best part about retelling them live is that kids have a lot of reactions to these stories. So, like, you get to hear the kids laugh, and you get to hear the kids scream sometimes. You get to hear the kids ask, like, really amazing questions. And most people's favorite is you also get to hear the kids heckle me. They love to heckle. So, like, one of the early podcasts, which kind of like set the tone for the series, there was a blue dwarf in this Grimm fairy tale, and I said, so there was a blue dwarf, and this girl, she goes, you mean a Smurf? And I was like, no, it's a dwarf. And she was a blue dwarf. And she was like, I'm pretty sure that's a Smurf. And I was like, it's not a Smurf. But then every time the blue dwarf came up in the episode, the kids would all be like, it's a Smurf.
Smurf.
So yeah, exactly. So that's what we do. I tell those fairy tales.
I don't think she's wrong.
I mean,
I've been fighting this battle for seasons now. You're not helping me, Betsy.
That's a Smurf.
So I tell these fairy tales, and then what we do is we go into the world of Grimm, and so then it becomes like a highly produced story fairy tale, but we like burst in and out with like kids being like, it's a Smurf. So that's Grimm or Grimmest.
Cool.
That's very cool. And I was saying that the Grimm's fairy tales are way more disturbing than you think whenever you get into them. You're like I remember one of my friends really hated, like would not watch The Little Mermaid. And this is an adult person who was like, I don't like the story of The Little Mermaid. And it's because the original, they like,
what happens?
The witch cuts her tongue out. So like, that's why she can't speak.
Yeah, the real Grimm fairy tales are super creepy. It's why we call it Grimm, Grimm, or Grimmest, because we literally rate the episode Grimm, Grimmer, or Grimmest beforehand, so the kids can be like, I don't like the Grimmest ones. I don't want to listen. But of course, that never happens. They always want the Grimmest ones.
What's like, I want to ask what is the most fucked up one, but if that's too long, what's like the most fucked up detail from one of these that you're like, this is the grimmest?
I could totally give you like a top 5 grimmest moments from Grimm's fairy tales. It'll be off the top of my head, but I could do it. Should we do it?
Yes. Oh my God, this is incredible. Yes.
All right, top 5 grimmest moments from Grimm fairy tales. Here we go. Moment number 1. Okay, I'm saying top 5, but this is honestly in no particular order. In the story, The Singing Bone, there's a girl. This prince gets murdered by his brother, and his body gets dumped in a river, and a girl comes and sits on a bridge, and she sees in the water a little bone, and she goes and she picks it up, and she like whittles it down into a flute, and she blows into the flute and plays the flute, and when she plays the flute, it sings something like, my brother killed me. My brother killed me. And she's got to go and find the murderer of the person who the bone belonged to.
Great.
That was good for
great. That's good. That's good.
All right. If that's number 5, then I guess we got number 4 is Rumpelstiltskin. Everybody knows Rumpelstiltskin, right?
Oh, yeah.
So at the end of Rumpelstiltskin, in most of the versions that we hear and tell, like she guesses his name and he gets so mad, he goes flying out the window.
Right.
And then in other slightly more accurate versions to the original Grimm version, he stamps his foot so hard, he's so mad, he stamps his foot so hard that he shatters into 1,000 pieces.
Ooh.
Which, but honestly, like bodies are gooey and like we don't shatter. That's not something bodies
do.
So in the original Grimm version, what he does is he stamps his foot so hard that his leg gets buried like 3 feet into the ground. And then he grabs his other leg and he pulls up on it with such force that he rips himself in half.
Ew.
That's the real Rumpelstiltskin. Yeah.
He's so strong.
He's so strong, except, anyway, yes, he is.
Wow.
He was. So what was that, number 4? All right, number 3. Number 3 is, I feel like I'm driving down the highway with the headlights on, like I can only see one ahead of me. So number 3.
That's good. You're killing it.
I thought you were going to say with your head out the window.
Uh-oh, look out for a big pull.
Yeah, exactly. That gets grim. Number 3, Cinderella. I think a lot of people know this, right? That there's the detail, right, about the stepsisters cut off. One of them cuts off her toe. The other one cuts off a chunk of her heel. It's important to use the word chunk when you're telling that story because
chunk.
It's right. Yeah. That's how you have to say it too. Chunk. Yeah. But what people sometimes don't remember or know is that at the end, the 2 stepsisters get their eyes pecked out by birds.
Ew.
And my favorite part, actually, the best part of that detail, we're going all the way today. I promise you, when in Grimm, Grimm, or Grimmest, I take much better care of the children. Like right here, we're going like all out. This is like adults only.
Yeah.
I still tell these details in the podcast. I just make sure that the kids are ready for them in a way they can enjoy them.
I think this is great, though, because you're selling parents who will have, maybe they can't listen to this podcast with their kids, although some do, and that's on you guys, and we love it. So, but it's a good parents, middle ground for people who are like, oh, this is too much, but that might be good for them. Anyway, so.
Thank you. I hope that parents how you're taking it and you're not now burning me in effigy, which probably in some homes you are. Anyway, to finish the Cinderella thing, my favorite part of the detail of that is, so for her wedding, she walks down the aisle and one bird older, like the doves from the tree that her mother is buried under, come and land on her shoulders. And the stepsisters are walking next to her in the wedding because they're like pretending to be nice to her now that she's marrying a prince. And as they're walking down, the doves lean over and the the one on her right shoulder pecks out her stepsister's left eye, and the one on her left shoulder pecks out her other stepsister's right eye. And then she gets married. Somehow the wedding continues, which is hard to imagine,
Hell
right? It's like
yeah.
na 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 na. No. It just continues, apparently. So the wedding continues, and then when she gets married, she turns around and walks out. And now the other stepsister is on her right side, and the other one's on her left side. So the birds lean over and peck out their 2 remaining eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't know it was like that.
Right?
That's awesome. Disney, come on, man.
Right? Yeah.
Because you're those little birds that are always hitting up her arms and stuff.
Exactly.
Of course they're fucked up.
Yeah, they're murderous.
Don't
Yeah.
be a coward. I'm glad in The Little Mermaid they finally included the scuttlebutt song from the real Grimm's fairy
The
tale.
scariest part of the Grimm's fairy tale is a rap by a
The rap from
seagull.
Aquafina.
God.
Okay, we're at number 2.
Oh my gosh, I still have 2 more to go, huh? I mean, there are so many. Let's
We
see.
can also
You
do
could do
top 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Tell you what. I'll do. The last 2 are going to be in a story that maybe I'll tell you today. How about that?
Okay. Okay. Great.
Oh, perfect.
That's to get everyone to keep
That
listening.
sounds like such an awesome podcast.
Thank you. We have a ton of fun. The kids are just amazing, and they've really taken it over in a lot of ways. So we had an episode in the 4th season, which is the last one we've recorded so far, where it's about these girls who become mermaids, and they refuse to let all these kings who have come to their village marry them, and they like turn into these like powerful, terrifying mermaids.
Yes.
And this girl just shouts, "We are women and we are terrifying!" And I was like, yes. So it's a really
Awesome.
it's a fun show. Yeah.
Oh,
That's so fun that the
cool.
kids get so fired up.
They do, and they're fierce.
Yes, that rules.
I think that is like a cool thing, like working with kids. I used to do Story Pirates.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like
yeah,
long ago
I
in
love
New
that
York.
show. Yeah. And I love the people involved with it.
Everyone is great. It's like the coolest group of artists working with Story Pirates, but we would go in and work with kids and help them, like just kind of pull stories out of them. Not really help them much. We would just, like, if they had a hard time, ask them questions to get them started, but they would always like end up writing really cool stuff. And then we would pick them and do it like a sketch review of some of our favorites. And we would like, sometimes they would turn into a song, or we would, craft them in ways that like it worked on stage. But sometimes you're like, these kids are writing like really like sick things.
Yeah.
And that you can make really fun too.
Right.
I love that show so much. If people don't listen to Story Pirates, you totally should.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. And like I said, everyone
Yeah.
there is really cool.
Lee Overtree, was he doing it with you?
Yes,
Yeah,
he was
so
one of
Lee
the
and I are-
founders.
We're buddies. He's great.
Cool.
Tell
Yeah,
me
we
I
have
said
some
hello.
friends who still do it. I feel
Yeah.
like I'll see them like posting about it and stuff. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I used to do it in the drama bookshop in the basement.
Yes,
there.
of course.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
It was cool. It was cool. I love wearing the wigs. Okay, so we're gonna get into our question we ask everyone, which is, what, if anything, do you believe about the paranormal?
Ooh.
So I grew up as a real skeptic, like most teenagers, like, I don't believe in anything. But when I got to college, I took a class in quantum mechanics. It was actually called quantum mechanics or physics and philosophy. And it focused on quantum mechanics.
Wait, whose
I'm
kid is
sorry.
lost? We have a.
Sorry, we got a lost kid.
Oh, that's
No,
why I
it's
put
just
mine
a
in.
test.
Mine
I'm
is
so
in
sorry.
airplane
No, it happened
mode.
to mine too.
Yeah, you guys are both in Los Angeles now. I know that. Now I'm gonna find you. That was me. That was me being scary.
No, what was weird is I'm in Brooklyn, so I'm sure that everything's fine.
It's just
right?
a big old test.
It was a nationwide test.
A
Wow.
nuclear-
test. Wow, that scared the shit out of me.
Hey,
Good.
this is
spooky.
Wait,
Betsy, didn't I just say earlier? I was like, I always put mine in airplane mode.
Yes.
That's why I don't want to hear about silver alerts, amber alerts, nuclear alerts. Get out of here. I'm podcasting.
Get out of here. I got a podcast.
I'll find out when we're done who's trying to kill us, okay?
Okay, sorry
Sorry.
about that.
So you
Quantum
got to
No,
college.
it's my fault,
mechanics.
too.
Yeah.
I got to college and philosophy. And one of the things we learned about was this thing that scientists call spooky action at a distance. So you guys talked about spooky action on your podcast before?
No.
No, definitely not in the way you're thinking.
Yes, like yeah, like maybe in the like succubus incubus way.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Whoa.
so you know, physics was for hundreds of years dominated by Newtonian ideas that, like, okay, if a pool ball, like a billiard ball, is going to move, it's because something had to hit that billiard ball, right? We can't always see it. Sometimes it's the wind or like a vibration on the table, but like one thing has to transfer its force to another thing, and those things, like, if I'm going to have a conversation with you and you're in LA and I'm in Brooklyn, then at least like particles have to travel from me to you and back again. And we can like measure how fast those go. That was like what people believed about physics. And then as they started to study tiny particles, quantum particles, things that are like so microscopic that like you need colliders just to see them. As they started studying those mathematically and in practice, they realized that those particles don't behave that way. And in fact, you can have a particle that is one particle here and another particle light years away from it, and they are somehow what they call entangled. They're connected to each other in a way that we have no idea how to measure. And so one of them will change, and the other one, a light year away, will instantaneously change. And there's no travel necessary between those two. Einstein, when he heard it, didn't believe it. He was like, no, that's like spooky action. And it's like, so that's what they started to call it. I think, I don't know if he coined that phrase, but spooky action at a distance. You can go Google it. And so it means that in fact, in physics, you don't have to have a Newtonian cause and effect between this and this. If two particles are entangled, hyperposition, then they can affect each other at a distance. And so I was like, okay, that was one of those like Horatio, like there's more things on heaven and earth than are dreamt of in your philosophy moments for me, where I'm like, okay, so first of all, obviously there are many, many things in science that we don't know, right? Like string theory exists and it's never actually been proven. We have a lot of good like indications maybe that it's right, but you can't prove it. So like we're so much in physics that we don't understand. And even things that we do understand can explain things that feel spooky to us, which doesn't mean like, do I say like, so I don't believe in the paranormal, I believe in science. No, it's like, I think a lot of things that are paranormal might have a scientific explanation if ever we understand science well enough. That doesn't mean it's not spooky as hell.
Yeah.
So for example, when I was 13 years old, I was on a hiking trip. I guess it didn't occur to me that I was going to tell the story, but it's gross. Get ready. So
nasty.
I was on a hiking trip, and in Vancouver or out like British Columbia, and we were like hiking 10 to 12 miles a day in the mountains, and I was 13 years old, and we had huge packs on our backs, and I was like the amount of calories I was burning was more than I had in my body. And so what we would do is at the end of a hike, we would just take all the food we could shove into a pita, like peanut butter and dry oatmeal and sausages and cheese. We would just shove it all in a pita and just shove it in our mouths. We were so hungry. And then from there, I went to like the summer camp I always went to. And like the first night I was there, I started feeling really sick to my stomach. And I got up and I asked the counselor, and I just met him. It was my first night. I was like, can you just tell me where the infirmary is? He pointed me to the infirmary. I go to the infirmary and I just start puking my guts out. And then when I'm done puking my guts out, I'm dry heaving, and I cannot stop
the worst.
dry heaving. Yeah. Now this camp was on an island. And so after like hours of me dry heaving without being able to stop, they put me on a boat and took me across. And I remember just leaning over the side of the boat, like just dry heaving at the water. I remember later looking in the mirror and all of the capillaries around my eyes had burst. So I looked like a raccoon.
My God, yeah.
I'm taken to the hospital, and I'm in the hospital for 5 days until like I have no food left in my body. I'm only eating Jell-O. Now let me finish that part, and then I'm going to tell you the spooky part. So at the end of this time in the hospital, like I finally am feeling slightly better, but probably because I haven't eaten any food. And I eat. My mom finally takes me out. We go have a big Caesar salad, and then I immediately like start puking again, and out of my mouth.
God.
Sorry.
That's a terrible first meal too, by the way.
To fill up.
Yeah, the chicken Caesar salad was probably a bad call. And out of my mouth, out of my mouth, like into the toilet comes this thing. And when it first comes out of my mouth, I'm like, oh my God, it's a whole fish. And I come like screaming to my mom. I was like, there was a whole fish inside of me, and it was flapping. Its wings were flying, because I was like, then we go down there, we look. It was not a fish. It was like the wrapper of some sausage that I had eaten on this trip, and clearly it had gotten lodged in, like the doctor just said, between my stomach and my intestines, so I couldn't go to the bathroom, and I kept vomiting. This is why I was there. Gross story.
Oh my God. You could have died from that blockage.
But the reason I told you this story, and here's the spooky action at a distance that I actually do believe in. My 8-year-old brother was at summer camp in, I think, Michigan. And the night that I went to the hospital, before anyone knew, my brother woke up in the middle of the night freaking out that I had died. He had this dream that I had died, and they had to call my mom, and she was like, Adam is fine. And then she got a call like, Adam's at the hospital.
Oh my God.
So
What?
could it be that like between me and my brother, there is like somehow like a superpositioned particle between our brains? And so something terrible is happening to me and he feels it. Like, I don't know if we have a scientific, like 100% explanation for that, but could science one day explain that? Absolutely. Yes. So that's that's how I feel about
because we have stories like that all the time where it's like, and for some reason, my mom or my sister or my friend like had a dream or a feeling, and then it came true or whatever.
Yeah.
That is wild.
So I believe it.
Also terrifying, because that actually could. I've never experienced it or heard about it in a person, but for a cat, that can kill a cat. Because they eat stuff and then get blockages.
And if you know anything about quantum mechanics, it's all about whether the cat is alive or dead inside the box. And you don't know it. So, right.
Is it? Wait, is it not
Schrodinger's cat? Yeah,
Schrodinger's cat. Yeah. Totally. So
it turns out Schrodinger's cat has some sausage stuck between its stomach and its intestine. That's the answer to that question.
Also, God, how hungry were you?
Did they know that when you were in the hospital, or until you puked it up?
Not until we puked it up till we realized they had no idea what the problem was, and they thought it was kind of over because I hadn't eaten a solid in 5 days.
Oh my! I for a hot second thought it was gonna be like a fucking worm
parasite,
or something, a parasite or something,
like some kind of fucking alien-esque thing, like a demon came out of you, like a salamander kind of dark entity.
Yeah, just like flopping around in the toilet water, where you show up and it's gone, and then it's crawling in somewhere else. Ew!
I'm gonna have nightmares about that now. My brother's gonna have nightmares about that now, and he hasn't even heard this yet.
Yeah, I like the idea of, in time, will there be a scientific explanation? It is kind of like with like ghosts in other dimensions and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, like 500 years from now, I don't know if the world will be here, but like, will it be kind of common knowledge of like, oh yeah, there's absolutely like, we have proven kind of these paranormal things or whatever.
Yeah, I bet that some of them we totally will. Absolutely. And we'll be like, oh yeah, that ghost was somebody from another dimension that's like physically occupying the same space, but like in some dimension that we don't know how to understand right now. Like almost walking through or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Also, Betsy, what you said, you don't know if we'll be here. Have you ever heard George Carlin's bit about that? Like, Earth's going to be fine. The Earth, you can't destroy the Earth. Yeah. Humans, we're gonna screw ourselves. But Earth, she's going to take all of our little plastics and all of our little trash and turn it into something beautiful, but we will be long gone after that.
I like that idea. I'm not looking forward to it, but at least I feel better about things.
We're not going to experience it personally, so I think it'll be fine. 500 years from now, it'll be fine. Look, People go underground. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Or apes will run it. Apes will run this.
Something new. Who
Planet.
knows? Yeah, something cool.
My money is on the ants.
The ants will take over.
Yeah, they have like incredible, complex societies where they do all sorts of stuff like underground farming and stuff. So I feel like, give them 1,000,000 years and they'll be way, way more advanced than we are.
Oh,
Cool.
and then they'll be telling ghost stories about these giants that walk the earth that
Yes!
like crush them.
Yeah, my great grandfather was crushed by a little kid's shoe.
They used to put us in jars and have predators attack us.
Farms, they would put us in farms.
Yeah,
They
ant
bring
farms
this
are.
on.
Oh yeah, or like kids who like to burn ants with a magnifying glass.
Dude.
Yeah, we are so many creatures horror stories.
Oh,
We
for
really-
sure.
Yeah.
I've become one of those people who will actually get a spider in a cup and take it outside, though.
I tried, unless it scares me.
I'm the same way.
Like, if it is out of nowhere, I sometimes can't help it, but just be like, BAM! But if it's like, okay, there it is, I will try to, like, get it and take it outside. But if it scares me, I promise it nothing.
I have Betsy. I promise nothing. I don't know what spider season is like in Brooklyn. I don't recall there being a spider season, but right now in LA, it is spider season, and not just because it's October. Betsy and I both go on walks. I'm a big walker, go on a walk every day. And there are these giant spiders' webs right now. And the spiders themselves are about the size of like a kumquat or something. Like, they are big spiders.
Ugh.
Big, like bigger than my thumb body. Like, their body alone bigger than my thumb. And my thumb is so big, like Shrek.
Yeah, you got a Shrek thumb.
Big Shrek. But have you seen them, Betsy? They're enormous.
Yeah. Have you ever picketed at Disney?
Yes.
There's like that whole row of these gigantic spider webs with gigantic spiders, and it's nasty.
So big, it's insane. And I don't know why all of a sudden I was like, I don't remember this happening before. Maybe I'm just going on more walks or something.
That could be, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we don't have spider season here. We do have the spotted lanternflies. Have they made it to LA yet?
No,
the invasive.
but I've seen them. They're and the praying mantis is like the only thing that's eating them, right?
And my dog. So I've totally taught my dog to hunt them, and she's an adorable tiny Bernedoodle. She's like very little and very cute, but she's a murderer when it comes to these lanternflies. So we're out there and she's chasing them down and tearing them apart. Sometimes she eats them, sometimes she does it just for the bloodlust.
That is so cute.
It's adorably murderous, murderous. Yeah.
I mean, if we were to unleash my cats on them, my cats love hunting bugs.
Yeah.
This is the solution here.
I
we
wish
go.
my cats understood pointing. They don't know what pointing means.
Yeah, yeah.
No clue. If animals understood pointing, they might be able to take over the world. But since they don't understand pointing, I feel secure in our place in society. But if they could see that I point to things, like I literally have to like find, and they won't see the thing I'm trying to make them look at ever. But
my daughter is the same way. I have a 7.5-year-old, and she's like looking at my arm. I'm like, no, take my finger and then extend it out.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is funny because I bet she, like my cats, could figure out a laser pointer.
Absolutely. Those are fun.
Oh yeah. Now, has your brother had any other premonition, or not? I'm labeling it as a premonition, but has any other like a sense of things that have happened outside of his,
No, I don't think
information?
I don't think he's like particularly. I mean, I do believe he and I have had similar experiences, though not quite that extreme. A number of times he and I together. My wife is her family is Sicilian, and so they have a lot of these kinds of beliefs, a lot of numerology stuff, sevens showing up all over the place. Sometimes it feels a little convoluted. They're like, yes, if you add your two birthdays together and then subtract 4, it's 7. And I'm like,
Yeah, I guess so.
yeah, no, but you could do that anything. So, but they do have a lot of those beliefs. And at first, I was pretty skeptical about it. But enough things happen where I'm like, yet again, who am I to say this is not real? Like, we know so little.
Right, right.
So, yeah, but I don't think my brother is like particularly like attuned to the world in that way. I think maybe just to each other.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
So,
No.
yeah, go ahead, please.
No, I was prompting you to tell us.
I was like, yeah, you want to hear the story or what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. So this is what I do when I collect these fairy tales. Is I go through some of my favorite collections. I usually start with the Brothers Grimm, but there's another collection that I really love of fairy tales by this guy Franz Xaver von Schoenwert, which is just a spooky name in and of itself.
Too spooky.
But also, that's some of the Disney stuff is from him, right? Or...
No, Disney's never used Franz Xaver von Schoenwert. No, his stuff was just rediscovered about 15 years ago.
Oh.
It was found in a cardboard box in a public library in Bavaria. Yeah, so he was collecting stories. Yeah, he was collecting stories in the 1860s. So the Brothers Grimm were collecting stories from 1810 until when they died in like 1863. And he was collecting stories at the end of their career. But what they would do, and I love their stories, but what they would do is they would collect stories and then they would edit them to improve upon them. And then they'd put them out, and then they would actually listen to the feedback they were getting, and then they would publish multiple, new editions where they would continue to edit these stories over decades. Yeah,
okay,
so these are like, whereas the Franz Xaver von Schoenwert stories are like just pretty much straight up verbatim transcriptions, it seems, of what people were saying, and you could tell because they're messy as hell. Like half the time I'm reading them, I'm like, I don't understand what's happening right now. But they have crazy details. So I like to use those two very German, though somewhat different collections of fairy tales. And then what I do is I improve upon them. Like fairy tales, every time someone tells a fairy tale or any sort of story that isn't ostensibly true, then we change the rhythm, or we change a detail, or we, put in a new callback in order to make it work better for whoever you're telling the story to. So I do a lot of that. Some of my stories are like pretty close to the originals, and some of them are, in fact, I've revised so many times I don't even remember what the original was.
Totally, yeah.
And I don't pretend that that's not the case. That's the case. I'm a storyteller.
Right.
This story is pretty close to the original Grimm version of the story. This is a Grimm fairy tale, and it is I would say, like, if we're talking about funny feelings, the spookiest of the Grimm fairy tales that I know.
Yes. Ooh, I'm pumped.
Yes,
Okay.
give it.
Feel free, just like the kids, to interrupt with questions or heckling me
That's
as
a
you wish.
Smurf.
Exactly. Go for it. So, this story is called The Grave. Once upon a time, there was a rich man, and he lived in a house at the top of a hill. And I'm just going to doing this from memory, folks, so if I mess up, my apologies. He lived at the house on the top of a hill, and all he did all day long was count his money. He loved his money, and he put it in big stacks all around him, and he just counted it day and night. Down at the bottom of this hill, there was a little village, and the people in the village were very poor. But did the rich man ever help those people in the little village or share his money with them? Of course he did not. Well, one night it was very late, and he was counting his money, and suddenly he heard a knock, knock, knock. He was annoyed to be interrupted. No one ever came to his door, but he stood up and he walked to the door of his house, and he opened the door, but he saw no one there. It was just the darkness and the low howl of the wind. Frustrated, he closed the door, went back, tried to figure out where he was, and started counting his money again. But a few minutes later, he heard it again. Knock, knock, knock. He stood up, he went to the door, he opened the door, and he looked out and saw nothing but darkness and heard nothing but the wind. He closed the door, came back, sat down, looked around him over his shoulders, started to count his money again, and he heard it again. Knock, knock, knock. But This time, he realized where the sound was coming from. It was not coming from the front door. It was coming from his heart. So he opened up his heart and he looked inside. And he saw that inside of his heart, there was nothing. No friends, no love, no family, just cobwebs and money. And so when he closed his heart up again, he realized that he was in trouble. Because at that time it was believed, as it may be believed now, that if you die with no love, no friends, no family in your heart, then surely you belong to the devil. And we all know that money comes originally from the devil. And so he was pretty sure if he was going to die, he would be collected by a demon or by the devil himself. And he became afraid. And just as he was having this realization, he heard knock, knock, knock. But this time, it was coming from the door. And so, with quaking knees and trembling fingers, he went to his front door, and he opened the door. And there he saw a little old lady. And the little old lady had her hands out, and she said, I'm so hungry. I know you never help the people down in the village, and I'm so sorry to bother you, but I'm just so very hungry. Could you spare a loaf of bread for me?
That's not how we start a favor ask. That is not. I know you never help people.
Yeah, she needed a different approach.
Not your nature, but I am starving.
I'm
so.
starving. Well, the old lady begged this, and much to her surprise, the rich man said, "A loaf of bread? I'll give you more than that. I'll give you bags and bags of gold." She was very surprised, and he said, "All I need you to do is, when I die, sit on my grave for 3 nights to be sure that no demons come and take my soul down to hell."
Whoa.
And she said, "You don't have to pay me to do that. I'll do it for free." And he said, No. I'll pay you. Tomorrow morning, I will bring you bags full of gold. If only you swear to me, you will sit on my grave and prevent the demons from taking me away. And she said, "All right, I swear." And so she went back down to the village, empty-handed, and waited until the morning for him to bring the bags of gold. But he did not come. And he did not come. And he did not come. Because that very night, the rich man had died.
Yes.
He was buried in a little graveyard outside of the town. And graveyards are often spooky, but this one was spooky as hell. The trees' branches looked like fingers made of bone.
I knew you were going to say fingers.
They do, right? Trees do look like skeletons.
Yeah.
And spiders would skitter up the bark. You could hear the calls of owls at sunset and the screeching of bats at night. When I was telling the story on Grimm, or Grimmest on the podcast, I had this kid interrupt and go, "Those are all just natural things. What's scary about nature?" And I was like, "All right, good point. Good point."
Fair enough. That is so funny.
You little druid. Okay.
Totally. That kid's a level 5 druid. So anyway, and the old lady took a little stool and she went and she put it on the newly dug grave of the rich man. And she sat there. Even though he had never brought her the money he promised, she had sworn, and so she did. And the first night, she is sitting there, and the sun goes down, and it's very, very cold. It's so cold, she's shivering. In fact, she has her clothes are, tattered and threadbare. She's got a giant hole in one of her boots where her toe sticks out. Finally, midnight arrives, and the church bells down in the town go bong, bong, Bong. Actually, at that point, the kids interrupted me and said, "You mean boing, boing?" And I was like, "No, bong." Anyways, it's like
It's
not
literally
bong. It's a bell, man.
As if they know more about church bells.
Boing. It's
Yeah,
not a spring.
like a pogo stick.
Yeah, come on, you little idiots.
Go to church.
Yeah, no, they're. What do you know? Anyway, so the church bells are ringing, and then smoke rises up from the ground. And up with the smoke rises a demon. Now, I asked the kids to tell me what the demon looked like, but I'm going to ask you guys instead. So please, Betsy, Marcy,
Okay.
what do you think this demon? Collaborate together and tell me, what does this? He's a small demon, I'll tell you that. What does he
Okay.
look like?
Red. Like, Marcy, should we just do one word at a time?
Yeah, so red with glowing yellow eyes.
Good, Marcy. Like skinny and spindly.
But skin that's almost like made of flames.
Ooh, Marcy, that's good.
With
like,
long.
not a hoof necessarily, but like just two big toes or something.
I
Yeah,
love
very,
And
yeah.
big titties.
Big, uttery titties.
All right. So this demon
You want
shows
us to
up.
keep going or what?
No, I think at that point, as a storyteller, you got to know when to step in and take it back from the audience. That felt like the moment.
Fair enough, fair enough.
The kids, in fact, their version of that demon had electric teeth all over his body, which was pretty cool too. But I like yours.
Awesome.
Yeah, they have crazy imaginations. It's mostly like they're on drugs all the time. So this little demon is like got cloven feet and red skin that looks like it's sort of glowing embers, little and spindly with big old udder titties. And
Yeah.
At first I was like, we're right. We were right.
Me too. I was like, whoa, we guessed right.
you guys are just like the kids.
Oh,
we
okay.
We are no smarter than children, except for about church bells.
Yeah.
Boing. So the demon says, "Get out of my way. I have come to collect the soul of the rich man in that grave." And the old lady says, "Oh no, I can't move. I'm here in case a demon comes." And the demon says, "A demon did come. I'm right here to collect the soul." And she says, oh no, you couldn't possibly be a demon. Demons are scary." And the demon says, you don't think I'm scary?" And she says, not really. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend you, but no, you couldn't possibly be a demon." "I am a demon," the demon cries. And she says, "Really? Prove it." And he says, "Well, how?" And she says, "Well, all money comes from the devil. So if you're a demon, you should have as much money as you like. If you can fill my boot with gold, I'll believe you're a demon, and I'll get out of your way." So she takes off the boot, and she holds it up, and the demon says, "Gold, no problem." And from somewhere, some orifice that we can't see, he takes out a giant handful of gold, and he pours it into the boot.
It squirts out of his udders.
It squirts out of his udders. Yeah, ooh, that's disturbing. And it fills up the boot and then pours, but it's dark, so she's holding the boot down near her foot, and the hole she had a hole at her toe, right? And the gold tumbles out of the hole and into the grass, and so as much of gold as squirts out of this demon's udders, the boot is never full. And finally, after hours of this, he says, "I give up." Then he says, "But it doesn't matter. We have 3 nights to collect his soul. And tomorrow night, a much larger, much more frightening demon is coming. You better not be here when he gets here." And he disappeared. Poof. When the sun rose, the old woman, who had in fact been quite scared of this demon but hadn't shown it, decided to hurry off into town, and she went to 3 different farms, and she picked up scarecrows, and she came back to the graveyard, and she set up these scarecrows in a little circle. Now, that's one version of the story, and there's another story that's similar where actually she would dig up bodies from the graves. So we could go with that too. In fact, it's not this is an adult podcast.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that. So forget the farms. She digs up a grave where 3 brothers had recently died and been buried. And she sets up these 3 corpses next to each other, 3 adult brothers. And as the sun goes down, it gets darker and darker. It becomes harder and harder to tell that these are corpses until midnight comes and the church bells go boing, boing, boing. And the smoke rises up from the ground. And with the smoke, there comes a demon, much larger than the last demon. And what did this one look like?
Ooh.
It had fur that moved like smoke.
Ooh.
Marcy, that's good. Big old black, like shark eyes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Those are spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arms, hands that drag the ground.
Marcy, and a fat ass.
Big old
Perfect.
butt.
Big
No
old
notes.
booty.
So up from the smoke there arose this demon, and he had fur that wafted off of his body like smoke, and hands that dragged along the ground. And wait, I'm forgetting one detail. What was that?
Black eyes, shark.
Well, black
Shark,
eyes
yeah.
like a
Right?
shark with no
Yeah.
pupils at all,
Yeah.
and a big old booty.
Whoa.
And
Ow.
he said to the old lady who was sitting on her stool on the grave, "Get out of my way." And the old lady said, "Oh no, I'm sorry, I can't move. I'm sitting here in case a demon comes." And he says, "Well, I am a demon." And she says, "Oh no, you couldn't possibly be a demon. Demons are supposed to be frightening."
With that
You
fat
don't-
ass? With that big fat ass? No.
With that ass.
Well, of course, the woman was terrified, but she was hiding it. And he says, "I am a demon." And she said, "If you're a demon, then presumably I would be scared, or my friends, but you can see my friends aren't scared at all." And he says, "Well, they will be." And he goes up to the first of the corpses, and in the dark, dim light, it indeed looks like they are living people. And, all right, what's something really scary he could do?
Oh, show that, what is it? Show that, like,
Do you want me to tell you what the kid said? The kid said some good
Yeah,
ones. Should I
yeah.
tell you the kid's ones? Okay.
Yes.
So the kid's suggestion was, for the first guy, he got in front of the first guy, and he ripped off his own head.
cool.
But the corpse, the dead brother, didn't move at all. So we went up to the next one. And to the next one, he ripped out his own heart, and it was beating in his hands.
Yeah.
But the second corpse didn't move at all. And so we went on to the third one, and he shook his big flabby booty in his face. But he didn't move either. And he said, "Well, it doesn't matter. Tomorrow night, the boss is coming.
Oh.
You better not be here when he arrives." And poof, he was gone. Well, we all knew who the boss was, right?
The devil.
The devil himself. And so the old lady waited there all through the day, unsure what to do, didn't have any graves to dig up now, didn't have any scarecrows to go get. What do you do when the devil arrives? So she just waited. And the sun went down. And the branches on the trees clawed at her like long bony fingers. And the bats screeched and the owls hooted and all the other natural sounds that kid doesn't find scary. All many weird natural sounds. And finally, the church bells rung. Boing, boing. And from the ground there rose the devil himself. Now, in all of these fairy tales, the devil always looks pretty much the same. He's the size of a man, and he has a long green traveling coat that he wears and cloven hooves. Sometimes he has a cane, sometimes not. His hair is long strands of golden thread. He has golden hair and little horns and a short little beard.
Shit.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Sophisticated.
Old lady, and he said, yes, he's a very sophisticated devil. And he stood in front of the old lady and he says, do you know who I am? And the old lady wanted to lie, but finding herself face to face with the Prince of Darkness himself, she could not. I know, she said. And he said, and do you know what I want? He asked. And she said, I do. And he said, will you then please move? And she said, I won't. And he said, all right. Either, tell you what, I'll offer you a deal. You move and let me take the rich man's soul, and I will make sure that all of the money that was his becomes yours, and you can be as rich as he, and live in a house like his, and you can take warm baths whenever you like, and have all the food you could ever want. Or I can kill you and take your soul instead. The old woman paused for a moment, and then she said, can I have an hour to think about it? And the devil laughed, and he said, you can have more than an hour. You can have until just before sunrise. But if you haven't decided by then, I'll kill you and take your soul, and then I'll take his too.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, she said, just like you. And she said, I'll be right back. And she hurried out of the graveyard. Just a little bit before sunrise, she came back. And the devil said, have you made your decision? And she said, I have. I will take the money. And he said, really? And she said, yes. I'll take the money. And then she whistled. I can't whistle very well. And up from out of the graveyard, out from the outside of the graveyard, walked all of the poor people of the village. And she said, I'll take the money and I'll give it away. And one by one, each one walked up to the devil and came in front of him, and he had to give each one a bag of the gold until he had given away all of the gold that the rich man had. But it was okay, he thought, as he gave away all of this gold. At least he would be getting the rich man's soul. Except when the final little child came up with arms outstretched and he put the bag of gold in her little hands, he saw the first rays of sunlight peeking over the hills in the distance. Oh, said the old lady, it's too late. You can't have his soul now after all, can you? And the devil said, I know how it works! And poof, he disappeared. And all of the people in the village now lived comfortable lives with all the money they needed. And while the old lady remained poor, she didn't feel poor, because every night she was invited over to somebody else's house where they had a big warm meal for her. And afterwards, they always invited her to take a hot bath. And she never felt cold again.
Oh.
And
wow.
They really should have invested, though, and given her a percentage.
That was so good. I did not know where it was going.
No, yeah, and I got chills being like, I was also like, you can't make any deal with the devil, though, guys.
Nah, it never works out.
You're not gonna win.
No,
it never works out.
Oh, that was so good.
Well, thank you for listening to my story. And I
Yes.
gotta tell you, it's even better when you got the kids and the music and the actors and everything. So I'm just usually narrated, but I have to say, my favorite voice is the devil's voice, and I never get to do it in the podcast.
It was
they're always like,
great.
we'll hire a professional. I was like, I know, but I like doing it. And they're
But
like,
you
sorry.
gotta be the devil.
No, you are
right.
the devil. If anyone ever asks, I will always say Adam Gidwitz is the devil.
We will
Perfect.
always say Adam.
Thank you.
Always. Can't stop myself from saying it. Oh man, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Well, in trade, do you have time to listen to a listener's story?
I would love to hear this.
Hey guys, I'm from Poland, so please excuse my accent. Hello, Betsy, I love your voice. You're so precious. And hello, Marcy, I love how much you talk. Please don't ever stop. And hello to your magnificent guest. They, I know they are precious. So, I wanted to tell you about a ghost that lives with me. So when I was in the middle school, I was like, science, everything, I don't believe in ghosts and shit. So when we got a puppy, she was a boxer, I used to put my glasses on the floor near the couch I was sleeping on. But since I was like scared that she would step on them, I started putting them under the couch. So one day I woke up and they were gone. So, I started searching the whole room, moving the couch and shit. And like after a while, I asked my mom, and you know how moms are, they will always find shit. So, she tried to help me. We moved the couch around and shit, and we couldn't find it. So I had to wear contact lenses to school, which was fucking painful. So after a week, I don't know what motivated me to say that, but I just like sat on the floor near the couch, and I said, whoever took my fucking glasses, please give them back. And I moved my hand under the couch, and there they were. He just gave them to me, like gave them back. And I know that he's a man because sometimes I see him from the corner of my eye. I know what he wears. I'm scared of him, but also sometimes I'm like, I'm under so much pressure that if I can't find something, or it's like buried down in my dresser, I ask him for help. So I ask him, hey, can you give me that thing? And he does. I just have to leave my room, and then when I come back, it's like lying in the center of my room, which is fucking crazy. So yeah, here's my ghost story.
Whoa.
That was
That's
amazing.
nice having a ghost that's helpful.
I mean, even though they said they were scared.
Even though it's scary, it's like, well, at least get me something.
Yeah.
I love the balance between her fear of him and yet like his helpfulness, as if there's some sort of, I don't know. I feel like, there's something about relationships that are that way in general, right? Like the other person in the relationship has some power over you, and yet it's like both positive and negative. And so this ghost, she's definitely got a relationship with this ghost.
Yeah, like the mysterious nature of the ghost makes them have the power,
Mm-hmm.
Truly,
you don't know you don't know who he is or what he's there for.
Don't know when he's gonna pop up.
But he likes feeling helpful.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he figures out oh my gosh, that is such a psychopathic thing to do, though, to cause a problem that you are the solution
That you
to.
can only solve or whatever. Whoa.
Okay, or what he was like, I'm gonna try on those glasses. They look great. He tries them on, and then she can't find them, and he's like, oh shit, I'm an asshole. So then ever since he's been like, I'm just gonna help her find.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And he's
Yeah.
like, why is she scared? I'm just trying to help. It's possible he's misunderstood.
Yeah,
That's very true.
That's very true.
I'm taking the ghost side in this one.
Yeah. Well, apparently you like to steal things, so. I found
stories.
them.
I usually steal stories.
Stealing stories.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was also very funny that they were like, Betsy, great voice. Marcy, you do talk a lot.
But they like it. Keep it
Don't
going.
ever stop. Don't ever stop.
They like it.
Don't ever stop talking.
Oh man. That was a great story too.
Yeah.
All the way from Poland.
Hell
Good
yeah.
storyteller.
Which
yeah.
fits in great. I feel like a neighbor to our German
Yeah.
fairy
All of
tales.
those fairy tales come from that whole region. In fact, that woman easily could be Polish. It could easily be a Polish
The older,
story.
the older woman.
Right.
Yeah, the old woman could be. Yeah. Oh man, these were great. Adam,
This was so fun.
I'm so excited to listen to your podcast too.
Me too.
Not with children. I'm not going to listen with a child though. I won't. Simply won't.
Just enjoy it yourselves. Keep it away from them because they're gonna ruin it by being saying things like boing.
Boing.
So yeah. And I love your guys' podcast. I love what you do. It's hilarious. So
Thank
I'm
you.
really, I
Thank
feel very
you.
grateful to be on with you. Thank you for hosting.
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah.
Yeah. Remind us all where to find your podcast.
Yeah. So if you are super into it, you can download the app Pinna, Pinna. But you can also find it on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts. Grimmest. Just search it. You'll find it.
Oh, thank you. This was great. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It was a total pleasure. I love it. I loved your demons almost as much as I love the kids' demons. And I'll never forget the utter like titties and the big flabby booty.
Like
ting, 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 shooting out gold.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for listening to A Funny Feeling.
If you have a paranormal experience that you would like to share, please send us a voice memo, or you can email us just a letter at funnyfeelingpod@gmail.com. I'm Marcy.
I'm Betsy, and don't shit your pants.
That was a HeadGum podcast.